put your hands together, please, for Jacquise Purifoy.
I do things a little differently. I was bright up here too. Ah, man. April 7th, 1996. I'm 13 years old, and I'm playing for the 16 and under AAU team, the Motor City Blazers out of Detroit. AAU is one of the largest sports organizations in the country. They work closely with the Olympic movement to train athletes to be Olympians all over the world. See, I wanted to be the first girl in the NBA. I had 4 brothers my senior who made sure that I dominated my basketball division. I averaged 25 points at Joy Middle School. To score 42 points and 10 rebounds in a night, that was a good night. Considering I had basketball teammates like MSU's own Julie Pagel, WNBA player Aisha Smith, Raina Goodlow, who went to Dominican High School and Academy, and we also went to the University of Michigan together. See, we were coached by Diane Jones. Diane Jones is a state champion for Renaissance High School girls basketball team. And we would have grueling practices. One time in that season, we beat a team 109-9. And that was without our starters in the game. Coach Jones instilled in us hard work, discipline. We had a 3-hour basketball practice, running suicides, sprints, drills. She said, Jacquise, push harder, move faster. And I'm thinking, I'm 13 playing with girls that are 3 years older than me. And I'm starting and I'm hitting 42 points in the game. Who does that? My brother said it was me. Throwing up in a basketball practice, that means it was a normal practice. She literally would run us into the ground. And we did that to the teams that we played against. The next day, April 8th, I wake up feeling awful. It's like I had to practice from hell. My stomach is hurting. I can't figure out what is going on. So I'm hopping in and out of the shower. I'm popping ibuprofens, just trying to make the pain go away. And I call my mother. I'm like, Mom, I'm really not feeling well today. My body just hurt. I said, you really need to come home. And she said, Jacquise, I'm not coming home. And she hangs up. I call her back. I said, no, Mom, really, you don't understand. I'm not feeling well. You really need to come home. And she said, Jacquise, if I came home every time you had a basketball practice, we practice 6 nights a week, every day but Sunday, she said, how am I going to provide for you and your brothers? Now you better take something, lay down. Boom, she hangs up again. Now see, my mom is a monumental mother from the deep south of Alabama. And she didn't play any games, and when she told you to do something, you better do it. So I knew I couldn't call back right away. I said, I gotta figure out how I can really get her to come home. So I tried again. I said, no, Mom, I'm really dying. This is like the end. This is the end. You really, you gotta leave work because something ain't right. I said, all right. She hangs up. Now I done took 5 to 10 showers at this point. All hot water. My skin got all red, webs on. I ain't used not an ounce of cold water. And I'm laying on the cold floor, so I'm in the shower, laying next to the refrigerator, in the shower. My mom gets home. What the hell happened to your hair? Now, at that time, I had hair down my back. So my hair is frazzled, it's standing all over my head. I had just got my hair done too, so she was pissed. Brush your hair in a ponytail. I'm gonna take you to the hospital. I did what I was told. I brushed it in a ponytail. I got on my N1 cut-off shirt and my N1 shorts and my Jordans. Yeah, I was rocking the retros. We hopped in the car. We head off to St. John on Ross. We get to the hospital and the nurse said, you know, when you sign in, what brings you here today? When the last time you had a menstrual? What's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? I said, well, my stomach hurt. I don't know the last time I had a period. And the pain is a 20. So my mom is talking to the nurses, trying to get them more information. I sit in a wheelchair. They wheel me to the back. My mom said, I think her appendix is bursting. Because when I had home, she examined me. You know, she had to poke me and see what was wrong, see if I had a fever. It was nothing. She didn't notice anything. Now, as I'm being wheeled to the back, I hear my mom say, every black girl that comes into the hospital ain't pregnant, I'm going to sue your ass. It's like, yeah, mama, get him. Because my mom was an executive at Smart Transportation, so she worked in the HR department. She got her suit on, she got her bad heels on. So she wasn't having pregnant. I get to the back. They examining me. They ask me the same dumb questions they asked me up front. When the last time you had a period? I'm an athlete. We don't have periods. I don't know. What's the pain? 20. Stomach hurt. And they poking me and they prod me. Okay, come on, stand up. We're going to give you an examination. Next thing I hear, her water broke. That's how I felt too. Who? Y'all ain't right. They rushed me to the emergency room, to the table. They cut off my damn N1 shirt and my shorts. I don't know what happened to my Jordans that day. And they said, well, quit pushing. I ain't pushing. Quit pushing. I'm not pushing. I have a baby. My stomach don't hurt no more though. Well, you gotta get your mom back here. I said, no, you don't. I'm 2 weeks away from AAU state championship finals. My mother has spent tens of thousands of dollars on elite camps and Nike camps and travel and my Jordans I can't find, trips. So we don't be teen moms in my house. No, that's not gonna work. You gotta let me walk out of here how I kind of came in here because she's not gonna know. No, Miss Purifoy, you gotta let her come back here, you know. I said, no, you really don't understand. When I was 5, I called my mom a punk. She took off work and she whooped me. So, how do we explain that I had a kid now? I said, okay, I started praying. I said, thank you, Lord, for all that you've done for me, all my trips and all my basketball and my Jordans. And forgive me for drinking that 2020 Mad Dog last August and smoking that weed and having sex and not telling my mother. Because I knew that was the end. So after I said my prayer, I said, okay, fine, let her back. This is over. I remember laying in that recovery bed, just contemplating in my head, how's she gonna take me out? If it's gonna be anything like it was when I was 5, when she whooped me for calling her a punk, it should be real quick, real swift. So I'm laying there, and like most of you know, your mama's walking. I can hear them heels on that towel. And she round, she coming down, you know, I got the curtain, you know, and I can hear her on the side of the bed, and I can hear her coming closer to the part where I'm about to watch her eyes, and my heart beating. I'm thinking she gonna jab me in the throat, she gonna body slam me about this bed. And I see her, and she sees me, and she approaches the bed. But she extends her hand out and she says, Jacquise, I love you and we're gonna get through it. And I'm just waiting for like the other hand. Because my mom was quick. She was one of those moms that when you talk, these kids talk back now, but no, you talk back to my mom, it'll be an uppercut, and I kid you not. Quick to the mouth, quick. Quick to the nose, nosebleed, no problem. And she don't say nothing else, be just boom. But she extended her hand out and she said, you know, Jacquise, I love you and we're gonna get through it. And all I want you to do is finish school. I want you to go to college. So I quickly took her up on it. I shook her hand real quick. And I promised. And she said, Jacquise, how did this happen? I said, well, I had sex one time last August. And Jasmine's dad's name is Jay. And what's his number? When you're dealing with somebody from the South, you better have that number quick. I gave her the number. She called Sandra, Jay's mother. You need to get down to St. John. And he lived in Pontiac. Somebody else said something about Pontiac men. Don't mess with them brothers from the Yak. They come down from Pontiac. Oh, she called Sandra and Sandra says, my mom says, Jacquise has had a baby. Well, Sandra said, when was she ever pregnant? She couldn't understand because, see, I was 13 and Jay was 16. Sandra started crying and she's saying, how is it that my baby has a baby? Mama said, I don't know, but you need to get down to the hospital. So they come down. My daughter was born with a very rare heart condition, coronary fistula, so she had to stay in the hospital. And I was able to leave. However, I missed AAU state championships. I wasn't able to return back to Joy Middle School where I was the valedictorian in my class. And I was more upset about missing the games. I said, because basketball meant more to me than life itself. It meant more to me than my daughter's life. And 2 months later, I went to my 8th grade graduation, holding a 2-month-old child, Jasmine Ivory Purifoy Lewis. And I spent the last 18 years explaining to people that this isn't my sister. This is my daughter. I ended up enrolling at Dominican High School and Academy in August. And I was on the varsity basketball and varsity softball starter as a freshman. We went on to win in 96 and 97 the all Catholic championships. But 10th grade year, Jasmine had open heart surgery during the middle of finals. And if you know anything about nuns, we had strict rules on absences and tardies. And with the 10 absent limitation, I had to go down to Jasmine's surgery during the middle of finals and studying. It was scheduled for a 6-hour procedure. It turned out to be 4, and I'm pacing back and forth as a 15-year-old at this time, studying for finals, Don't know if my daughter's gonna live or not. And my mom was there. She was instrumental. She made sure that she took off work so I can go and do my finals and lead a normal teenage life. I ended up graduating from Dominican High School and Academy at 17 years old, salutatory and second in my class. And I accepted an academic scholarship to the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. So I graduated June 4th of 17, and I was taking summer classes 3 weeks later at Michigan. At this point, Jasmine's 4. And my mom was still instrumental in making sure that that transition from living at home to now being out on my own was smooth. And the whole time while I'm at Michigan, I'm on public assistance. And I'm also working a part-time job. And it was there, when I needed more help, I went to my worker and I said, I need more money, I'm struggling. She holds out a chart. On this chart, on the right side it had numbers 0 through 20. And on the left side it had dollar figures. And she said, Ms. Purifoy, if you had more kids, I can give you more money. I said, if I had more kids, like, I'd be destitute and probably homeless. And it was at that moment I decided that I was going to go to law school, because we're going to need people who look like me to advocate on behalf of other people. Suffice it to say, I wasn't looking at that chart to have any more kids, but it pushed me to do more. So I ended up graduating from the University of Michigan in 3 years and 8 months with 2 bachelor's degrees, one in English, one in American culture, and with honors. I was 21. And I landed an awesome job at the NAACP. Jasmine was 8. Own house, we living on our own. And I want more. So I applied to all these law schools across the country and I get rejected. Not good enough to be a lawyer. And then I get admitted to one law school. So I quit. My family thought I was crazy because I was working in the youth and college division. I was doing all the work that I wanted to. We was over 7 states. I mean, it was just incredible, the work that I was doing. They said, are you crazy? You're going to leave a full-time job with benefits to go to law school with nothing? Why? So that's what I want to do. So I packed up and I moved to Okemos, Michigan. Never heard of Okemos, Michigan, coming out of Detroit before, but that's okay. And my mom, being the woman that she is, packed up and moved to Okemos, Michigan too. So that's 2010. So we arrived, Jasmine's 9, she's in 4th grade. My mom, we arrived at law school in, 2006. My first semester I'm on Dean's List and honor roll. I landed a job with Governor Granholm's administration in the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. I ended up working for the Michigan State Senate. I got a job at Sparrow Hospital in the legal department. And then I landed a job with the Michigan Attorney General's office, which led to me being able to clerk for Ingham County Circuit Court judge. And all these amazing things was beginning to happen to me while I was working 3 jobs and raising Jasmine, who was also in 2 orchestras in volleyball and soccer. But my mom was still there. It was a handshake in the hospital that we weren't letting go of it. She pushed, I pushed. She pushed harder, I pushed harder back. And she watched Jasmine as I was going through law school. And she watched Jasmine while I studied for the bar, because I passed the bar the first time that I took it. I landed a job on Capitol Hill, moved to DC, and what does my mother do? She said, don't worry about Jasmine, she can stay here. go ahead, go on out to DC. And I went. But my calling was here. Because I said, if everybody who has something to give leaves Detroit, where will we be? And I came back. But I didn't come back before having a chance to meet President Obama twice. And I didn't come back before I represented Detroit at the White House. I was one of 6 out of 435 members of Congress, staff people selected to represent Detroit at the White House for a forum on HIV and AIDS and the impact on women and girls. Because I'm also a certified HIV/AIDS tester and counselor for the state of Michigan. We test in prisons. I work with Gospel Against AIDS. We test in prisons. We test at meth clinics. We test at churches. We test wherever you are. And I got in that work because HIV is killing us. 33% of people living right here in the state of Michigan don't even know they have it. So to be able to represent us at the White House was just surreal coming from where I came from. So if you see a strong, confident, hardworking, determined woman today, it's because I stand on the shoulders of a monumental woman.
Jacquise Purifoy.